Hi guys, so I'm going to be doing my foundation routine. Now my foundations may switch up, I may switch up on foundations, but my routine is usually the same. Sometimes I use a beauty blender, which you guys have seen in my videos, and sometimes I use a brush. Today I'm going to be using a brush, and I'm also going to be using the MAC Face and Body Foundation. This is water resistant and it's light, but you can build this up to a full coverage foundation. So first, I always make sure that my face is moisturized. And then I go in with MAC's Fix Plus and I just give myself a little spray. And then I always prime my face to make sure that my foundation stays in place. So I'm going to be using MAC's Natural Radiance Base primer, and I'm just going to apply that all over to my face, and I usually let this sit in for a few minutes. So I'm going to be using the Sephora airbrush brush in the number 55, and I'm just going to give this face and body a good shake. And I'm in the color C1. So I'm just dabbing my brush in there. I'm just going to buff this into my skin. It goes on super smooth. This brush is great with all foundations that I have used so far. I go over my eyelids and I go a little bit underneath my eyes. And I like to put a little extra around my cheeks. I find that's where I get some redness at, and around my nose. This foundation just really covers beautifully. To cover any dark circles that I might have, I use my Giorgio Armani Master Corrector number 1. But for today, I'm going to be using my Erase Paste by Benefit, and this is in the color number 2. And I'm going to be taking the Sephora Airbrush Pro brush in number 57. And I just put that right in the corner of my eye where it's the darkest, and I just kind of blend that in. I do have a review coming up of the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, so look out for that. I have been testing it out. Now I go into my MAC Pro Longwear in the color NW15. This is my holy grail. I take a couple pumps of that. And I go in sometimes with my beauty blender, but today I'm just going to be sticking with this concealer brush. And I go and do the triangle. Go from the inner corner. And I go up, and I blend this all in. I love this concealer because it doesn't crease, and it gives a really nice highlighting effect, and you can use it as a foundation too. Whatever's left over from the concealer, I like to take it and highlight down my nose, a little on my forehead, cupid's bow, and I just buff that in as well. I also take some over my eyelids. This also works really nice as a primer. Then I go in with my MAC Prep and Prime in Radiant Rose, and I apply this to my highlighting point on my face. So I do it right kind of over the concealer, Cupid's bow, a lot of product right there. So down my nose, onto my forehead, right along my jawline a little bit, and on my chin. This really just illuminates your face and gives it dimension, especially when you're contouring. So I'm just going to buff all this in with the Sephora brush in the number 56. I'm just kind of doing tapping motions. Now for contouring, I like to use either a powder or cream bronzer. I kind of use them in conjunction with each other. This color is Coffee Walnut. This is a Pro Sculpting Cream. You can purchase this online. And I'm just going to take my 134 brush by Sephora and put a little bit of product on my brush. And I kind of just stamp it on lightly and buff up. And I like this because it has a cool tone to it, and it just is really nice. It gives you a really good contoured effect to your face. For my contouring bronzing powder, I like to use NARS Casino, and I'm just going to be using the Real Techniques contour brush, and I just go right over the Coffee Walnut. And I stay towards the back of my cheeks. And then I'll take a little bit and go up onto my forehead. Just kind of buff a little bit of that in there, just for a little bit of color. And then I'll go underneath my lip. That gives the illusion of fuller lips. For underneath my eyes, I go in with my MAC Emphasize. And I'm just using a MaryKay paddle brush, their foundation brush. For blush, I'm going to be using the color Melba. I find that this is a universal color and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to take my 168 brush and I start in the back to give more of a lifted appearance to the face. And I go a little bit towards the eyes as well. I find that this color really goes well with most eye looks. To bronze my face, I go in with my MAC MSF in Give Me Sun, and I'll just take a large fluffy brush and just slightly sweep that along my jawline and down. forehead. Just a very light dusting, not too much. Just give a little warmth to my pale skin. And now for powder, to set everything, I'm using the new Urban Decay, and I'm in the color Naked Light, which is their lightest one they have, and it has a little powder poof thing down there. But I'm just going to take my large brush and get some product on there, and I'm just kind of going to press this into my skin. This powder is so finely milled. And it gives you a soft focus effect. It is so pretty. I love this. For highlight, I'm going to be going into my Becca highlight in the color Moonstone, which is a really gorgeous color. And then I take my MaryKay flat brush and I apply that to the high points of my cheeks. For eyebrows, I use my Makeup Forever Aqua Brow in number 10, and I just put a little bit on the back of my hand. And I just kind of brush my brows so they stay. Then I just dip my brush into the product. And I start at the front. Some people start at the back, but I like to start at the front. And I kind of just use the angle to make the square. And go down. And I use light, feathery strokes with it. And if I get any on like the bottom, I don't worry about it because I clean that up with concealer. And that's how I do my eyebrows. I usually don't need to set them because this is waterproof, so I don't have to worry about it. But if I do use a pencil, I use my Anastasia brow gel. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all the new subscribers who have subscribed. Thank you so much for doing so. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that button. And until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!